You're watching Newsday TV. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ken Bufa. Spring and nor'easter is heading our way with the heaviest rain expected on Wednesday. Meteorologist Bill Corbell can tell us what to expect from this storm.
It's hard to believe, but we are following March's pattern. March had record rainfall. We start April the same way. And this storm means business, I'm afraid. It's not just the rain, it's the wind, it's the coastal flooding, the whole 9 yards. That's the way it looks right now. It's rather disjointed, but it stretches all the way back to the Great Lakes and covers a good part of the eastern seaboard. And we're going to see, with this storm, rain, wind, and coastal flooding. We'll tell you the details of each of those aspects in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Bill. And more than 20 dogs and a few other animals were removed from Ronkonkoma home today. Now, the Suffolk County SPCA says they had a search warrant for a home on Motor Parkway. At least 24 dogs, 5 cats, and 6 parrots were found inside in what was described as poor living conditions. The animals were examined by vets, but there's no word yet on what's happening to the homeowner. And an auntie crashed into a hydrant with her niece and nephew inside, causing a flood, and then got booked for DUI. This is the scene on Pine Road in Coram. Cops say Leah Delaleo crashed into a fire hydrant just before 11 this morning, causing a flood from the spewing water. The 6-year-old boy and 3-year-old girl were fine, and a family member picked them up. But the 47-year-old woman is facing multiple charges and will be arraigned tomorrow. And flammable chemicals have been found buried near the Northrop Grumman site. 6 barrels were dug up at the Bethpage Community Park. The town of Oyster Bay says contractors made the discovery when they were drilling a well, and the town is calling this a, quote, graveyard for contamination. Officials are now calling on Northrop Grumman and the DEC to scan the whole park to see if there's any more drums underground. And the MTA is looking for a developer to run the shops and restaurants in Grand Central Madison. As of now, there are just coffee carts and vending machines available for commuters. You know that. And the agency is looking for a firm to oversee 25,000 square feet of retail space inside the LIRR hub. Now, bids are due in June, and a contract is expected to be done by the fall. And the Yankees are taking some special steps to prepare for the solar eclipse next week. The team is starting their game at 2:05 p.m., which is 5 minutes before the eclipse is expected to start in New York City. Now, fans will not experience complete darkness, mind you, since the total eclipse will be visible upstate, but the team says they will turn the stadium lights on as it gets dark. And the first 15,000 fans in attendance will also get a Yankees solar eclipse t-shirt. Pretty cool. And Long Islanders are getting ready for the solar eclipse next week, but what about our four-legged friends?
Pets are really attuned to their owners, and so sometimes when we're anxious, they actually can feel that anxiety and also become anxious. Make dogs anxious.
So try to be calm. Now stay tuned to Newsday TV tomorrow to find out what you need about our pets and the eclipse. And female veterans are receiving VA disability benefits at a record high number. Macy Eglin has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
Donna Zephyrin of Bayshore is a proud Iraq War veteran, having served 2 tours, one in 2003 and another from 2004 to 2005.
I'm glad that I'm alive. That's one thing. I'm employable. I have a job.
She was discharged in 2006 after 10 years with the Army, but her time in the military still affects her life today. She suffers from PTSD and asthma and filed disability claims with the Department of Veterans Affairs.
Working with the VA with the claims is a lot of red tape. So I need to go to maybe like 2 or 3 appeals before it gets approved.
Zephyrin says she needed the help of a lawyer to get those benefits approved. VA, meanwhile, says it's delivering disability compensation to women at record-setting numbers. Currently over 702,000, which is a 26% increase over 5 years ago. In New York, just over 14,000 women, a 20% increase.
Now you have a lot more females from Desert Storm to the present that serve in the combat zone, as well as just serving in the military.
VA says 89% of women who file for disability benefits receive them for at least one condition. Zephyrin says while there have been improvements with the increasing number of women in the armed forces, veterans need to be persistent in receiving care once they return home.
I know it's not easy. I'll tell any veteran to keep trying, don't give up.
Reporting for Newsday TV, I'm Macy Eglund.
Now, to read more about this story, go to Newsday.com, click Get More, below the Newsday TV video box. A Long Island vintage car dealer is steering customers to classics. Steve Langford has a story you'll see only in Newsday.
So, Will, these are beautiful cars you have, but who's buying them?
Almost every walk of life has at least an interest in classic cars.
At Motorcar Classics in East Farmingdale, Alfa Romeos, Ferraris, Jaguars, Porsches, you name it, for just about every budget.
You can buy a nice classic car for $20,000, or you can buy, multi-million-dollar cars.
Founder and CEO Will Branston has been buying, selling, and fixing up cars since he was a kid. Today, he says, his business has gone global.
We ship all around the world, so 20-25% of our business normally is done outside the United States now.
The hottest trend in exotic cars these days, Branston says, Japanese cars.
Because the younger audience, particularly millennials, buy these Hondas. So you'll see a lot of Japanese cars on the top there.
Business, he says, is excellent, and even the looming transition to electric-powered vehicles will change but not end his style-driven sales.
We're going to keep the body, it's just that we're going to drop an electric motor in it.
Branston's showroom and warehouse hold about 350 classic cars, a proverbial candy store of collectible motor vehicles for the ages, all ages. Cars for kids, at heart. Steve Langford for Newsday TV.
Now, to read more about those Motorcar Classics, go to Newsday.com, click Get More, below the Newsday TV video box. All right, back to that spring nor'easter. Bill, take it away.
Here we go, another major storm. We've had this off and on now for months, and March was the wettest March on record. Here's this one, and as we head through the night, the rain will continue. The main low is way back here, back over the Great Lakes, but as it moves eastbound, we're going to see another storm start to develop. That one will disappear. Watch down here off New Jersey. We're going to start to see a little storm develop. That will intensify tonight and tomorrow. Strong winds, heavy rain, coastal flooding. What's this blue? That's snow. Upstate New York, New England. Skiers are going to be enjoying this, but not us. The storm will start to work its way out of here, but not until late Thursday. This is going to go on for 2.5 days. Rainfall somewhere between 1.5 inches and maybe 2 inches around the island on top of the already soggy ground. And winds, this is going to be perhaps a problem. Now, we're lucky the trees don't have leaves just yet for the most part, because watch what happens later tomorrow as they start to gust overnight. Tomorrow we're into the 40s. By late tomorrow, we could see some gusts in excess of 50, and this computer model is saying into the 60s. Let's hope that doesn't happen. They start to die down again on Thursday. Here's a big problem. 1.5 inches of rain is troublesome. Coastal flood warning, South Shore, Peconic Bay, North Shore, all of the area with the potential for 2.5 feet of flooding. High tide would be tomorrow evening and Thursday morning. There you see some numbers. It's the bottom number we're looking at for tomorrow evening. So again, some of you are going to have to take preparations for that, because the water could rise again a couple of feet above the ground. And there we see the South Shore. So that's the short term, the rain, the wind, and the coastal flooding. Temperatures chilly. As I said, this is almost a winter type storm. If this was a month ago, we'd be getting snow. 40s tomorrow with rain continuing. Later in the day, we get some heavy downpours. Maybe even the rumble of thunder later in the afternoon with the last of the downpours. And finally, it's going to move out of here. As we head into Thursday, we're going to start to see improvement, just a residual shower. And then the weather starts to get better and better and better, which is good because we've had enough of this rain out there. And in fact, as we head into the weekend and skies begin to clear, that should set us up for, believe it or not, some very nice weather starting Sunday. And for the eclipse, yeah, we'll be near 60. You'll be able to take that event into view. But next 2.5 days, more rain, especially tonight and tomorrow.
Long Island weather is brought to you by Fire Island Ferries.
You're watching Newsday TV. I'm Ken Bufa. Thank you so much for joining us.